Hi. All right, welcome everybody and good evening. Welcome to our regular council meeting for Monday, May 11th. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:30. The town of Elk Point respectfully acknowledges we are located on Treaty 6 territory, the traditional and ancestral lands of the First Nation and Métis people. We honor their enduring traditions, wisdom, and cultural strength in our community. With that, we do have a delegation this evening. We have Chelsea Rudolph, Community Planner, and David Schur, Development Regulation Lead for the ISL Engineering. And they will be presenting the St. Paul Regional Housing Strategy. Can you guys?
Sorry, good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Perfect. All right, well, welcome.
Thank you. Are you ready for us to get started?
You can get started, yep.
Okay, perfect. And you're comfortable with us sharing screen with you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I will do that right now. Okay, I can see it popped up there. All right. So good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you for the introduction. Yes, we are here tonight to present the final St. Paul Regional Housing Strategy to you. Just kind of go over the high-level process we followed, talk about the structure of the strategy, and then hopefully ask for council to accept the document for information this evening.
Okay, sounds good.
Perfect. All right, we'll hop into it. So the purpose of the Regional Housing Strategy Project was really to understand the current state of housing in the St. Paul region and identify gaps that can inform a strategy to meet the needs of the community today and into the future. And for the purpose of this project, there were 4 municipal partners. So the town of Elk Point, the town of St. Paul, the county of St. Paul, and the summer village of Horseshoe Bay. And what you'll find in the regional housing strategy is an explanation of the roles and responsibilities of housing partners, community groups, and agencies. It establishes clear and appropriate housing priorities, directions, and actions. It identifies some available resources, tools, and partnerships that may assist with implementation of the housing strategy actions. And it responds to the regional housing challenges by recommending targeted actions intended to be supported by all 4 of the participating municipalities. When we look at the process we followed to complete the project, there were 2 primary phases. The first was really focused on identifying housing needs. So we prepared 4 individual housing needs assessment reports, one for each municipality that focused on each specific municipality. So those were presented to the previous council in the summer of last year, and they were all kind of accepted at that time for information. And that really propelled us into the second phase of the project, which was developing housing actions. And this is primarily where the bulk of the housing strategy was prepared. So yeah, the process kind of in this phase, which like I said, we're focusing on this evening, was really developing the strategy based on the findings of the housing needs assessments. It did involve kind of some engagement with community members, engagement with council, and then that last bullet point here is where we are this evening, presenting the final strategy to you. And as part of this process, we wanted to highlight the touch points that we've had both with the community, with members of administration, and with councils, both the previous and the current council. So our first engagement with the community took place in February of 2025. We had a joint workshop with previous council members in May of 2025. And after that time, we went back out to the community in the summer of 2025. And we also did a council poll with the previous council members, which is where we explored some potential actions that might be resulting from this work just to gauge level of interest. And then we spent a lot of time preparing the housing strategy in preparation for a few workshops with members of administration, the first in December of 2025 and the second in January of 2026. And then we had another joint council workshop with representatives from the current councils or the new council members to introduce them to the project. And then this is the last step of the project. So presenting final presentations to council in May of 2026. So this is currently our second presentation. And then we'll have the other two communities this week as well. So we designed the housing strategy to respond directly to the needs that were identified through our data analysis, from community members, through the engagement opportunities, and as well as existing or anticipated strategic priorities, objectives, or initiatives that we were aware of from each of the regional municipalities. So those are kind of the three main influences that informed development of the regional housing strategy. I know the engagement piece was a pretty big one. So if you're interested in learning more about that process or what we heard from community members, Appendix C of the housing strategy includes our completed public engagement report across both phases. And to introduce the framework of how the housing strategy is organized, there's really three main areas that kind of divide it into different chunks of information. So the first is policy areas, which are high level categories that organize the housing strategy into key topics or themes. Underneath policy areas, there's directions, which are high level statements that describe an intended approach to address one or more of the specific challenges within each policy area. And then at the finest level of detail are actions, which are specific initiatives or projects that can be completed to achieve policy directions that relate to the overarching policy area. And then related to the actions, there's also what we called municipal focus areas, which are some additional topics or considerations that are specific to each municipality. So these focus areas go one step further to providing some more detailed information to help each community understand how they can more effectively implement one or more of the regional actions in a way that's most directly relevant to their respective community. In looking at the policy areas of St. Paul's Regional Housing Strategy, there were four main categories that emerged through our data analysis when we're reviewing feedback from community members through our discussions with administration and council. So the first is focused on expanding wraparound services and filling emergency, transitional, and supportive housing gaps. The second is diversifying the housing supply while maintaining affordability. The third is about supporting age-friendly communities. And lastly is about increasing education and awareness. And when we look at how we've applied this framework within the regional housing strategy, on the screen here, we're showing examples of policy area number 1, the two directions that are underneath it, and then on the very right-hand side, some examples of actions of how we've proposed that the region can address those directions and achieve that overarching policy area. So policy area number 1 actually has 7 recommended actions to guide regional housing efforts. We just provided a few examples on the screen, so please do read through the strategy to see all the others if you haven't yet done that. Yeah, I'm not going to read them all out to you because, like I said, they are in the strategy document. But for the purpose of this presentation, just providing a few examples under each direction as, examples of how the regional municipalities can achieve some of these overarching objectives. For policy area number 2, there's 4 underlying directions and 14 recommendations to guide regional housing efforts. So once again, just some examples on the screen, but please do refer to the housing strategy for all 14 of those recommended actions. Policy area 3 contains 2 underlying directions and 13 recommended actions. There's 4 examples of actions on the screen there. And then policy area has 5 underlying directions and 19 recommended actions. So this one is kind of the heaviest weight in terms of the number of actions, which I think makes sense because it's all about education and awareness. So there's certainly lots of flexibility and opportunity to do various different things under this policy area. But yeah, please refer to the housing strategy for the complete list of all the actions under these policy areas. So what does all of this mean, and how do we help the regional municipalities figure out what's next, what to do? As part of this work and through some really wonderful conversations we had with members of your administration, we prepared what we're calling an action prioritization matrix to help recommend or propose which actions we think should happen first. So the high priority, followed by some maybe medium priority actions, and then ones that are still important but maybe aren't the highest priority, kind of a low priority category. We ranked these by evaluating estimated cost of completion, the feasibility or likelihood that something can be completed, as well as the expected impact of the option or of the action. And I think with this, it's important to note that this obviously isn't set in stone. This was an exercise that we went through, like I said, based on strategic priorities, maybe other ongoing initiatives, things that we were aware of at the time when we were completing this project. This was our best guess or our best recommendation of how these actions could be completed. But the order of completion and the timing of completion is definitely something that the regional municipalities will have to discuss. At times when there's budget discussions, maybe there's grant or funding opportunities that come out. Maybe you have a developer or a community organization who approaches the region who wants to do something. All of those types of things and external influences will impact the timing of when some of these actions might get completed. So it really is just a reference or a starting point if you're looking for this information. But otherwise, we just hope that the regional municipalities work together to decide what time makes the most sense and when there's budget available and when there's capacity available. In terms of the municipal focus areas that we've identified for the town of Elk Point, we really wanted to focus on policy based on what we heard from community members and what we heard through the engagement feedback. The two things that we really are focusing on here are amending the municipal development plan to support a wider diversity of housing options, as well as introducing wording that supports attracting a diversity of service and business units that will support a wider range of demographic groups across various life stages. And then that second, more site-specific piece is amending the land use bylaw to permit tiny homes and ready-to-move housing. And similarly with all of the recommended actions within this strategy, with the prioritization matrix, these are just recommendations based on the work that we did and our findings. Certainly, there's probably more things that the town might think is important to include in a future MDP amendment or land use bylaw amendment. But from a housing specific perspective, these are the pieces that came out loud and clear that we would recommend the town focuses on in the more shorter term. So as we come to the close of our presentation, we wanted to highlight what the recommended next steps were. So over the next 2-ish years, ideally, the town would collaborate with the other regional housing partners to start implementing some of these recommended actions. We would love to see an annual monitoring and reporting on housing progress. It doesn't have to be annual, but because this housing strategy is more of an informational item or a non-statutory plan, making sure that it has a seat at the table or that it's staying front of mind is really important for ongoing implementation. And by doing kind of annual monitoring or reporting can make sure that that stays an item of discussion. And then lastly, it would be really great if the municipalities could update projections, the municipal housing needs assessment report, and the regional housing strategy once the 2026 federal census data is available. So I'm sure you all know, but there's a census ongoing, collecting wonderful new data across the country. The data that was used to inform this analysis was from the previous census in 2021. So just to make sure that housing strategy actions are still accurate and meeting current needs, it is important to look at these documents at regular intervals to make sure that the actions are still responding to the needs that are being experienced on the ground or as communities are changing over these 5-year cycles. So yeah, this is really the last slide of our presentation. We do hope that council accepts the St. Paul Regional Housing Strategy for information. And yeah, that kind of concludes our presentation, and we are available and welcome any comments or questions if there are any. But thank you so much for your time this evening.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Does anybody have any questions?
No, for me.
No?
I've been following along this project from the get-go, so it's good to finally have it all wrapped up, and it's a lot of good information for us to assess our housing needs. And I thank ISL for all the hard work you guys have done over the last couple of years.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess if we do have any questions at a later point, we will reach out to you guys, and thank you again for joining us.
Most definitely. Thank you so much for having us, and thanks for the wonderful collaboration throughout this project. We've really enjoyed working with your council members and members of administration, and yeah, look forward to hopefully future visits to your community.
Sounds good. And we'll let you know later your RFD is later on in the meeting, so we'll be in touch.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much.
Good.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you. All right. Okay. With that, can I get a motion to accept the presentation from ISL?
I can make no.
All in favor? All right. Moving on to the agenda. Are there any additions to the agenda? Well, seeing none, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Motion.
Sean? All in favor? Carried. Okay, no public hearing. Approval of minutes from April 27th, 2026, regular council meeting. I did note that in the minutes, it does say that the media was available or present via Zoom, but the press was here. And the motion for coming out of closed session was made by Sean and not Jason. But other than that, it was good. So I'll make the motion to approve as amended. All in favor? Carried. Okay, unfinished business. All right, Mayor, did you want to?
The 6A should be a special council meeting for the budget for 2026 and 3 years plan, plus the capital budget and 10 years capital plan.
Yeah. So when we approved the minutes, we didn't notice that it said regular minutes instead of special. So
Okay.
we just need to rescind resolution number 26-145 and then approve the special council minutes.
I can make a motion to rescind previous council or the previous resolution.
Is that two separate? Yes. Two separate? Okay. Tim to rescind. All in favor? It's carried. And a motion to approve the April 26th special council minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. All in favor? Carried. All right. 6E, resolution number 25-105, ministerial order.
Yeah, the minister has recommended us to prepare an agreement between the town of Elk Point and St. Paul School Division. And this is an ongoing agreement, which only the date has extended to 2030, starting from 2026. Nothing changed.
Also have a rescind.
Yes, so we did this back in 23, we approved it. There was an error made, there was no signature spots. So when our previous CAO, before Daryl left and then Daryl passed away, I reached out to the school board and we decided that it would probably be a good idea to just bring it back and approve it with the current council and their interim CAO, as the previous are not here. So we added the signature spots in the agreement and just added the arenas, the curling rink, and I believe there was another facility that they added on there, but that's about it. It's the same as the one in 23, but it will go from 2026 to 2031 now.
Okay.
Okay, so can I get a motion to rescind resolution 23-492?
Oh, go ahead, Jane.
Listen. All in favor? Carried. And then a motion to approve the joint use and planning agreement as presented.
I can make that motion.
All in favor? Did you have?
I do take some issue with some of the wording with the use of joint facilities and things like that. And I feel like a lot of it is intentionally vague, which could be used for some groups to not be allowed to use it because of, for example, the word values not being consistent with certain individuals. And so I'm not going to vote for it, but that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, because this is something that we don't change. It comes from the higher
That's what I
powers.
assume.
Yeah, so, okay. All right, so that was still carried. All right, 6C, resolution 26-78, bylaw 922/26, the borrowing bylaw for the MD Foundation.
The council has passed borrowing bylaw on meeting May 11. Notice is today's, and that one was. Which day was that?
April.
Okay, and we applied on the basis of that borrowing bylaw. We applied for the debenture, but the decision was not made in our favor. We are going for negotiate with that, but by this time we have to pay the MD Foundation for our portion of money, and because we cannot pay as the borrowing bylaw already prepared, we need a motion to pay from our own fund or reserve, and once the decision is in our favor, then we could replenish that reserve. There are few options. we can use our own reserve. We can borrow money from the banks. But those are little expensive. And we can borrow, and again, from borrowing from the bank has two options. We can borrow a fixed rate for 5 years or a floating rate. Then again, 2%, 1% vary of the amount. But for now, if we can direct the administration to pay out of our reserve and decide after that, that would be,
So we can fill our obligations.
yeah.
Was there a reason why?
I was gonna say, should we be transparent and let people know why we were
Okay.
denied?
We are not owner of that property. That what they are saying. It is owner is MD Foundation, and they should apply for the debenture, and we should provide them the authority to borrow money.
On our behalf.
We are not sure yet, but we are regionally contacting with them. And anything happen, then we'll regionally face that.
Is there any reason to expect problems moving forward? Like if we spend this and then we're still not able to find another way, is that?
You know, in terms of once the council agrees, then there is no issue with that. Only thing is if we say keep it separate, then we can claim those money for our operating expenses every year. It's a little amount, but if we pay from our own, it is even financially little bit better condition. But the problem is we have to accommodate, find a way to how to accommodate that expenses, the financial payment as well as the interest rate payment, how we could accommodate in our operating.
No, the other communities involved in the MD Foundation all borrow through debenture. So maybe it'd be worth talking to.
How they got it done.
How they got it done.
Yes, we are very close in contact with County of St. Paul, and they are looking into that. And the CEO of County of St. Paul is on vacation now. Once he come back, maybe end of beginning of June, we'll have a more better understanding. But for now, only thing we are not paying, and then MD Foundation cannot apply for their loan.
But the County of St. Paul already forwarded their money through the debenture.
Not
No.
venture.
They didn't use the debenture. They applied for it, just gave cash.
They were in the same boat as us.
They got denied too.
For the same reason. We don't own the property. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, but they said they forwarded their money already.
Yes,
yeah.
they did.
They pulled out of their reserves. I guess. Oh, okay.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, can I get a motion to receive this as information?
We should direct the administration to pay out of our reserve. There is no recommendation at present because there are so many things, but for time being, we could, until we get a concrete decision from the Alberta Local Authority Fund financing,
Okay,
we'll pay out of our reserve.
I know that we are basically, we need to get that money moved for the MD because of the building season.
Yes.
And getting things done.
Yeah.
We're the last one that they're waiting on to get the money, so.
Yeah.
It would be good to come up with a.
For the time being, we can just pay out of reserve, just that direction we need
okay.
in the council.
Can I get a motion to direct administration to
I can make a
Any other-
motion to go through the reserve fund.
Yeah.
For the time being.
We have a meeting at the end of the month. It should be done by then.
I don't think because county is dealing with this issue.
But
We
our
are-
transfer of money will be gone. It'll be moved over.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And then when the debenture will come back, we will replenish our reserve.
All right. Any other comments regarding it? No? All in favor? Carried. Okay. Resolution 26-121, Lemonade Day request. $60.
D. We approve the Lemonade Day request for our donation and they they have a they need some judge for the lemonade stands on June 4th for the testing, and the council needs to approve 2 councillors to attend in this testing ceremony as a judge.
And we did reach out because I know the reason we hadn't committed to this is we didn't really know timelines. And they said timing for the taste testing on June 4th would be from 4 to 4:30.
So 4 to 4:30, but they also said that they would deliver the lemonades here for us to keep in the fridge for people who couldn't be part of that window of time for the taste testing. So
Taste testing.
where is it? It's, well, they bring it here. I'm not exactly sure where the location.
June 4th is a Thursday and June 13th is a Saturday.
I'm perfectly willing, but it would have to be a blind test of some kind.
I think you just go around to each booth.
No, but yeah.
He also
right.
has
I could do, if it was a blind tasting, like if it was here and there were no signs, then I can.
Yeah, if it is here, then we can manage it by blind sign.
It's one.
because I would also be available, but not till probably 5 o'clock. So I would have to come.
Yeah, so
After.
drop the samples off here for whoever decides they want to come and taste the lemonade, and then they'd be here. I would pick the number of the cups and then ask you which number of cup it would be, and then
So I'm willing to do that if
it would probably be fine.
And do we want to split up the roles? Having different people do the taste testing versus the judging on Saturday?
Doesn't matter who would be available on the Saturday.
Currently, it looks like I'm here, so if there's a need, I can work towards it. I think, Dwayne, you had mentioned on the last meeting, you mentioned you were gonna be around.
On,
13th.
the 13th is out, but the 4th. But it's 2 different days?
It is 2 different dates, yeah.
one's tasting.
One's judging of the booths.
Yeah.
Going around town.
Oh, I see. 13th is out for sure, but probably the 4th. What day is the 4th?
Thursday
Okay.
evening. Or Thursday.
Yeah, I should be
Saturday, yeah.
Thursday.
Then the testing should be here in.
Yeah, we'll tell them to come and drop them off here.
Okay, because otherwise, where would it be? They're not going to set up their booth for taste testing.
I'm not sure if she had elaborated to Morgan where
Okay.
it was prior to us asking.
Okay.
Can reach out. I
Okay. And do they want more than 2 for taste testing?
think they just want 2 for
Just-
taste testing and then either the same or 2 other people for the judging of the booths.
Okay. All right, so if it's going to be blind test testing, we have Dwayne and Sean. Okay,
On the fourth.
on the fourth?
Fourth,
Yep.
yeah.
And then you're available?
I
or-
should be available, yeah, on the 13th. On the 4th, I'm in, on shift, so I'll be out of town, so.
Okay. Are you around on the 13th? I think I'm around too, so it doesn't matter.
I've done it many times in the past, so if someone else wants to,
Okay, I've done it once, but I haven't done it the last couple, so
yeah.
I'll put my name. I don't,
What time did we say or that was the one that could be anytime?
Yeah, so the taste testing, or originally the time is from 4 to 4:30 on the fourth, and then lemonade day is from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. going around town to the booths.
now, as judges, do they want us going together separately? They,
In the past, when Paris and I did it, we all just jumped in the same vehicle and then
okay,
visited every site, and then there's a form, and then we go and provide the winner with the prize.
sounds good. Okay. All right. We're gonna make this a little bit longer. Can we get a motion? We'll do it in one.
Yeah.
We can do it in one? Okay, can I get a motion to appoint Sean and Dwayne as taste testers on June 4th? And Tim and Wanda as judges on June 13th?
I can make that.
Sean? Perfect.
Bring your own straw.
Okay, any other questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. Okay, new business, ISL engineering presentation. 8A.
Yeah.
No comments or?
Think there's anything really to add to it. Nice, like you say, Jay, to have it over and done with, and now it's up to us to either do something with it or.
I would like to hear everybody's thoughts on the recommendation regarding tiny homes.
I guess my thoughts on a tiny home, depending on what you call a tiny home, right?
Mhm.
Like, the square footage wise, I wouldn't want something, I shouldn't say I wouldn't want. I would be hesitant on having like a 100-foot, 200-foot square thing for a house. But I would like to see smaller homes for, what do they call that, transitional housing? And that's kind of where I'm looking at a tiny home for.
And I think I've heard this somewhere, and that tiny homes don't exactly increase value long term. And I don't know that I would think tiny homes are a great market option. I think, like you say, if we got, camp shacks and renoed them as temporary housing, that might be viable. But I kind of lean against the idea of trying to build tiny houses as a permanent idea.
Yeah, and I think that's the issue, like what Tim was saying, is is it the new form of mobile home that they're talking about, or is it's the 500 to 900 square foot housing
Right.
that's, because in the past, in the 80s, they built lots of the under 900 square foot housing. And then people's needs increased when you had families to get to that 12 to 14 to 2,000. But then there is a need to have, other people that are young families that are just starting out, or people that are retiring, to go back to that 600-700 1-bedroom square foot house with a garage in the back. So that's where I think we need to have that conversation. There's ways of doing it. Last thing I want to for a tiny home community is making another a slums. Like you got to have something that has some pride and be able to take it. I don't think we'd want a small house on existing lots, because it's just, if you want an economic house, having it on a regular sized town lot is going to be kind of going backwards, right?
Might as well.
Maybe talking to developers that are into more of the experience with the tiny homes, making lots that fit that in, there could be a need. There could be a thing, but that's definitely, we have to find a developer to kind of with experience to have that, right, Ryan? I don't think we want to be tackling that ourselves.
For sure. I've seen little subdivisions with tiny homes on it and that, and these were mostly at big beaches, Daytona and stuff like that. They're well kept. If you don't, you'll limit your buyers or renters to it's
Interest.
a hard community.
Yeah.
There's also a question about allowing a tiny house on existing properties that have, like, as a secondary lodging. So if some people have to have like generation housing where they're having another,
In-laws.
either a senior living or someone in their twenties having a smaller house on their own property. I know there's been people asking about that, and that should be maybe something we can, I think on our to-do list is updating the land use bylaws, so I
Yeah,
think that's a conversation for when we get to that point.
in some municipality, I saw that there are landowner and the homeowner are different. And the tax situation is different in that case. Then the municipality taxes on landowner as well as homeowner in a different rate.
Yeah, it gets complicated.
Just thinking of it. We could make the requirements for a tiny home to our spec.
Yeah.
Something that we say is a tiny in our home, not open it up to.
For me, similar to what we have, with our bylaw on, not trailers,
Or TMs?
CCAN.
Oh,
It has to meet a specific look before we will allow it in residential area.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
we don't allow it in residential.
We had one though, didn't we?
Special consideration.
Yeah.
yeah, for me, I don't see a lot of long-term market value in having something like that. But even a 2-bedroom, if it's a single person, they turn the other into an office. If you have a 1-bedroom, you're just really not buyers. But for rentals, 1-bedroom is fine.
Yeah.
You're looking at temporary or you're looking at.
And then there's a need for it all, and I don't think we need to replace existing lots like I was getting at with a smaller house, like maybe that's a whole new development.
Yeah, I would think like 500 would be like bare minimum.
But then you could like a fourplex, put 4 units.
Yeah.
Right.
And have then it's taken up the same amount as
I do like the idea of making it easy to have the in-law suite type idea, allowing a second smaller dwelling.
Or rental income, which is helpful, because we do have a lot of transitional people through our community and they're just looking for somewhere to. So there's a need for sure, and that's a conversation, like I said, for another day, and I'm glad we have a good strong basis, so when we do our land use and stuff like that, we can refer back to this.
We're gonna have to do a lot of research. We're gonna have open houses and that because it does affect neighbors and stuff like that, so.
Yeah.
Now, we might want it, but the people in town might not
that's
want it.
mhm.
Is there a way that we have that just creates like a simple poll, like, a way that when you pay your utility bill, we have a poll question on it or something? Like, is that a thing that we can do?
We could send something out with what we're currently doing with our development on our website, could have an option like that. That's something we could maybe look into in the future.
It's buy-in always, every time you do a survey.
And I was gonna say, and then as soon as you do it on the website, then you're gonna get the people that don't access the internet and.
That's why I like
So
the
it's-
idea, if there was such a thing, it's, something everyone does.
Mhm.
Utility.
Everybody does the same thing, that's.
Yeah.
Think like maybe like just like an open house, do the survey there, might be a better. Get them that one place, they come, you submit it, you don't have to about them getting it to you.
If they come.
Yeah.
It's hard to get 'em
That's the hard part, isn't it?
together.
Getting everybody engaged and.
Open house. You could- Some that had 0.
We can always do something like that, depending on how big of a rush we are. I'm sure that this year we're not gonna be doing a whole bunch, but even looking at September at the information night, that could be something that you
Yeah.
pull right there with people coming through, and whether you're from town, not from town, what would you like to see, blah, blah, blah. But that would be an option, and there's always a good turnout there, so.
Well, so what could spike something is an application. Someone puts in an application, they want a time
Yeah.
when they're back, we gotta deal with it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I said, if a developer comes in, we're willing to, that's where we should start having that conversation.
I hope we see it.
Well, town's small enough, we can just send Wayne door to door.
Again, this one is a regional. We have to.
So. All right, so with the RFD, the recommendation is we receive this presentation regarding the St. Paul Regional Housing Strategy as information.
I can make that motion.
All in favor? Okay. Okay, so step down 300 pages. Define disabilities. Right, Seniors Week declaration.
Ministry of Seniors, Community and Social Services requesting us to declare Seniors Week as the awareness generation, and a form of declaration is attached. We recommend the council that the council declare June 1 to June 7 as Senior Week, and the council approve May 31st, 2026 as Senior Breakfast. Further, that the fund for this event be taken from our GL from council expenses 211,290.
No,
Council promotion is promotional expenses.
okay. All right. Anybody have any questions or comments?
It's a good thing. Every year, it's well attended.
It is.
Very well, yeah,
He's gonna be available to cook
I
pancakes.
can be available.
We'll get sure that will be. Depends on the day on shift.
Cause I know I'm gone.
Okay,
It is a Sunday, yeah.
you might be busy too, I imagine, Sean, or?
I will be out of town.
May 31st. I was there last year. I can.
And I do believe we invite the county to help part.
Yeah, the county
So,
helps out.
Yeah.
Great.
You said May 31st?
May 31st, yeah.
31st.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be back that day, but I won't be back in time for the pancake.
come on, Wanda, wake up early.
It looks like I should be off shift, so should be okay.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
You want two motions on that one, or?
Do we need two? Two? Okay,
The declaration.
okay. So then can we get a motion to declare June 1st to 7th as Seniors Week? All in favor? That's carried. And another motion that council approve, May 31st as the Seniors Pancake Breakfast.
We'll make that motion.
Dwayne?
Oh, I should be going to it, not working.
Don't fill a plate. All in favor? That is carried. Okay. Me to read out the declaration? Yeah? Right. In honor of the past, present, and future contributions of the seniors of this community and throughout Alberta, I hereby declare June 1st to 7th, 2026 to be Seniors Week in the town of Elk Point. My name, Wanda Cochran. Issued by the community with the support of the Honorable Jason Nixon, Minister of Assisted Living and Social Services. So, and I'm sure we'll be sharing that on our on our website and on the social media, promoting the breakfast and the events of the week. I know FCSS they'll have a luncheon Tuesday, is that, or is it Tuesday? So,
Yeah, the next agenda.
okay, perfect.
We'll also send a letter to the ministry
We'll submit the declaration to them.
with a letter.
Sounds good. All right. 8C, Elk Point Auto Club Annual Car Show.
This is kind of the same everyone for years and years. I don't know if everybody's ready. I'll make a motion. Yeah. Do the road closure for the car show.
Okay. Anybody have any comments? It's also the chili cook-off.
Which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, what's the strategy on that one?
They just wanted to try it on a Saturday and people were coming to town, so they're,
I completely agree with that. Just, you know,
It's also my wife's piano recital at the Christian Community Church.
there you go. It'll be a busy day in town then. Good. Okay.
Hot cars and even hotter chili.
Yeah. All right, so Dwayne moved to approve the temporary road closure. All in favor? It's carried. Okay, Alberta Disabilities.
Disability Professional Appreciation Week.
Yep. Eight D.
The Disability Workers Association across Alberta wants to raise awareness with the essential role of supporting individuals with disability. Is it a request from them?
Yeah.
Yes, we received an email asking for to declare
Okay,
in May 18th to the 24th.
declared the Professional Appreciation Week from May 18th to May 24th.
We have to make that motion.
Tim? Okay, all in favor? Carried. And that's a much longer proclamation. You read it?
you already set the precedent.
Okay,
As presented, we can, yeah,
I'll read it.
okay.
Alberta Disability Service Professional Appreciation Week, May 18th to 24th, 2026. Whereas the third week of May is recognized across the province as Alberta Disability Services Professional Appreciation Week, highlighting the vital contributions of those who support individuals with developmental and other disabilities. And whereas disability services professionals provide compassionate, personal-centered care that enables individuals to live meaningful, independent, and inclusive lives within their communities. And whereas these dedicated individuals advocate for dignity, promote inclusion, and empower those they support to achieve their goals and reach their full potential. And whereas their efforts positively impact not only individuals with disabilities, but also families, caregivers, and the broader community, helping to build a more inclusive and supportive society. And whereas the disability services sector is made up of skilled, committed, and hardworking professionals whose roles are both demanding and essential, and who deserve recognition for their ongoing contributions. Now therefore, I, Margaret, Mayor of the Town of Elk Point, do proclaim May 18th to the 24th, 2026 as Alberta Disability Services Professionals Appreciation Week in the Town of Elk Point. And I encourage all residents to recognize and celebrate the important work of disability service professionals and to express appreciation for their dedication and impact throughout the year. Dated today. No. Did we do it all in favor?
Yep, we did.
Okay. Perfect. Right. Request for letter of support of funding for insurance. Elk Point Curling Club.
We, every year we support curling club up to $7,000 for their insurance liability insurance cost. And this year, the cost is $7,398, and according to our previous practice, we pay $7,000, and that the curling rink club has requested for, they actually requested either for $7,000 or the full amount, and the administration recommended to pay them $7,000 as we pay every year.
Okay,
I can make the motion that we give the 7,000.
okay. 7,000. Any comments? Okay, all in favor on that? Okay. And they're also requesting a letter of support for a grant application.
This is for their ice plant. So they're applying for a grant just like the arena did. The deadline for the submission is May 15th. So they're looking, the grant's about a 50% matching, but they have the funds that they're requesting, the matching side. So they're asking for funds for the concrete pad and a ice plant. So they're just looking for a letter of support to go with their application. They'll be reaching out to the community, the county for any financial support since they do provide a donation every year to them.
Okay. Any comments?
I'll make a motion that we give them a letter of support.
Okay. All in favor? That is carried. Okay. Meeting with Frog Lake. F here.
Yes, council. This request for this decision to request council to approve attendance of councillors Tim Smarika at the Frog Lake Nation meeting on April 30th, 2026.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. All in favor? It's carried. Alberta Rural Health Week.
Again, it is a declaration for Rural Health Week from May 25th to 29th. And the council may direct the administration as they deem fit, or they can receive this item as information, or that the council declare May 25th to 29th as Alberta Rural Health Week.
Okay. I'll make a motion to declare May 25th to 29th, 2026 as Alberta Rural Health Week, but we're going to wait because we do have a council meeting on May 25th. We'll do the declaration officially that night. So, any comments?
You just don't want to read another one.
It's more fair because it's a Monday, it kicks off the week, so.
That is.
Do you want this as information or?
No, we'll declare it. I'll read
That we will
the proclamation on May 25th. Yeah. So I'll make that motion to declare it, and then we'll just read the proclamation on May 25th. Can we do
You can
that?
always put it as declare the week of May 25th to the 29th as
Yep.
Alberta Rural Health, and then we can defer the declaration to be read at
Yeah.
the.
Okay. Okay. Okay, all in favor with that? That's carried. Town of Vermillion letter of support.
Yeah, Town of Vermillion requested for a letter of support for their steep grant. They are applying for. And they are applying for the grant from a strategic transportation infrastructure program. And there is no financial implication to Town of Elk Point. Just a letter of support they are requesting for.
So just a point of order, not opposing in any way, but I just wondered if our community actually does utilize that. Is that something that actually affects us a fair bit?
There are people that fly out of our airport and then they go to Vermillion and support other airports as well. So a network of airports is always good.
So, but our emergencies don't go there and fly out kind of thing?
Strange, it could happen in
Yeah.
theory, but most do come here and go to Edmonton.
Okay.
I understand.
St. Paul and stuff like that, or the buzz between here and St. Paul as far as the emergency services go. But depending on where visibility is to land and what they have up, it's always a possibility.
Yeah, just curiosity, no opposition.
Okay,
I think it's probably good to support, like,
Yeah, I-
sometimes we'll need some support.
Yeah.
Because if we need to be in that position one day, they can help support us. So,
They'll remember, yeah.
yeah.
Make that motion.
Sean, okay. Two. All in favor? It is carried. Great. South Point Handy Van meeting.
We find out who owns it and who pays
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah,
Actually, Town of Elk Point own that van with the transportation grant money. And since then, it is used by the residents of the senior housing. And the repairing cost is shared by the county and the town 50-50. The fuel cost is funded for accommodated with fundraising during the senior breakfast. And now the van we could use for regionally to transport from the town of Elk Point to county or town of St. Paul. And mostly some senior can transport back and forth. And for this reason, we can discuss with the town and with the county to set up a procedure how it can be done. And with the administration requested for recommended a council approved to attend mayor and a councillor to attend the meeting regarding the Elk Point Handy Van on June 8th, 2026.
so that meeting is just between the two administration, the county and the town.
And they will be here on that day.
It's at 1:00.
Yes.
It's, just discuss how we want to lay it out.
Yeah.
How we want to use the van, how we want to utilize it. Get to the broader community to access it. Since we do go 50-50 with the county.
We are going already.
Yeah.
The only cost it will enhance the fuel cost to transport from the town of Elk Point to county.
Mhm.
And maybe we can decide over there,
Yeah.
whatever is the.
So we'll go through more when we go through the minutes and reports, but yeah,
He's just having two counselors there, and we were just wondering if another counselor wanted to attend the meeting for just so if they have any other fresh ideas on it or not.
Fortunately, I won't be able to make that one.
you're on shift.
Either.
Really can be done too.
I think we can.
Yeah, I believe so.
The way too.
I think I can make it work.
Make that-
Certainly if it's virtual, I definitely can.
Okay. Okay, we can, I guess that's up to administration if we can do it virtually, but
Sure, I can set it up.
do it, okay. Sean's willing. Okay. All right, so then can we get a motion to approve the attendance of myself and Sean,
I'll make one motion.
Tim? All in favor? It's carried. AJ, manager of operations.
Somebody's been sitting here drawing, neat enough, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, we're mainly in the midst of switching over our stuff and getting ready for summer, of course, you know, switching from the winter equipment to the summer. Potholes have been a big issue this year with the freeze and thaw. Of course, we're taking care of them as fast as we can. One thing I want to discuss while we're on there, I brought up with the mayor here is Circle Drive Bridge. We did have we were looking at doing it steel, the bridge that was damaged down there. And as we were doing measurements and stuff down there, we had some approaches from some homeowners in the area asking whether it was needed there or not. And some negative things on whether it should be put back there or not. Become a hangout for kids in the area just to come and hang out.
The bridge,
Yeah,
bridge.
right in
It's
the,
actually up right kind of at the end of Ravine Drive into where Circle Drive,
behind Marshall's.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't need one there.
There's not much foot traffic was it from what I've heard. And that's why I was asking if it was even needed anymore. And it has become a hangout for kids. That's why the damage led to the damage and destruction. So I did talk over Wanda and we were wondering if we should take an approach to ask the people in the area whether we should be putting the bridge back there or not. And if that was the case, then we would pivot and do the Markstead Bridge instead. Or steel, which is more used. I just want to know what everybody's thoughts were on that. Before putting it to the people.
How far would you go?
How far would we go?
Like a
Circle
circle
Drive.
talking.
Circle Drive.
Well, you'd have to ask the
You could
people
have
on
the Ravine Drive
Ravine
too,
too,
yeah.
cause they use it.
Yeah, it's the other side, so.
Initially, that was kind of, I think, the
Yeah.
idea is for walking. You could walk through there and come over to the school instead of going all the way down and around.
Yeah, there was indication that it's not used very much anymore.
Not anymore, probably.
Not for kids going to and from school, but I have talked to people that walk their grandkids through there. So I think we're gonna have to figure out a way that we can do a radius and figure out what that's gonna be and approach them and,
I think that's the two main areas. It'd be Circle Drive and Ravine Drive. It's really affects them the most, so.
well, and I don't know if I wouldn't necessarily go all the way around Circle Drive either. No,
Well, if anyone who has a family could be affected, just because that's the origin point where they're going somewhere. I mean, you could even make the argument for other people just because it's an attractive walking space, but I would certainly do all of Circle Drive anyway.
And all of Ravine Drive.
Yeah.
And your street. It's kind of involved too. There's not that many houses there.
Mhm.
6.
Kids probably wouldn't cut through there from your area.
I would say there's very little going that way. It's more coming this way. Like I say, it's hockey, school, stuff like that. If the
Yeah.
parent can't drive, then it's more of a shortcut. On the other side of things, if you were to divert that
those funds to repair the other, what would repairs to that look like? Would you just be replacing things or?
No, it would be a full bridge, steel bridge. Okay. Yeah, which we were gonna do down in Circle Drive. Yeah. But I brought it up because, yeah, I simply had some conversations with some people that got some damage from kids back in there. I'm telling them not to monkey around. They weren't sure they wanted it back. Okay, yeah, so we could move forward with asking people. There,
Mhm.
how that looks.
Okay. So do we need a motion to
If we're gonna do a survey, yeah, I guess so.
Correct.
Straight, reach out to those involved and see what kind of feedback we get, and I can make the motion.
Okay,
Make that motion at the end of your report or whatever.
And also I want to talk about the EPR here, so. Yeah, we did, moving forward on the recycling, the EPR, had another meeting with them. I just wanted to give you guys an update on the phase 2, which is recycling within town. Gonna give you a little rundown on how it's coming. It's still looking to come in October 1st, when they have chosen a contractor, of course, for our area. Have not got contracts ready yet. Pickups they are looking at in town would be bi-weekly. It's going to be a bag system, not a bin. They're asking people to use clear bags. They can see what products are in there, and they will take as many bags as you want to put out there. There'll be no limits on the bags. One thing that might be a little off is they're expecting people to buy the bags. They can buy from the local co-op. If this becomes a problem, they would look at supplying them.
And would that be on the same day pickup?
No, this will be a total, whoever the contractor is, will have their own day. Yeah, it could be a separate contract from what we're gonna have for garbage around here. Yeah, so they are looking at, yeah, as many bags as you want, you can put out there with it, be a bi-weekly pickup, so every other week. The other thing that will be changing is our recycling out at our transfer station. It will no longer be separate bins as far as cardboard and newspaper and everything else. There'll be more items added to it, but it will be a one bin. One bin, everything goes in one bin, and the contractor will sort it on their end.
so it'll be a larger bin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you betcha. Still with our guys looking after it, they still give us a little bit for looking after the bin and stuff.
Is there any benefit, Jay, with, I guess my thought on that was, like with the recycling and whatever, if you've got to have a lot of bags hanging around your house and it's bi-weekly and is there any other option to find a way to, whether we store that offsite at, like, whether go to the transfer station, they just come there and sort through stuff and pick it up, or I'm just wondering. For homeowners,
there will be the option to take it out to the transfer site and throw it in the big bin if you want. Like, it's gonna be the same recyclables out there as it would be being picked up in town. Yeah, they're gonna try it bi-weekly first. If there is a lot, then they'll move to a weekly until they see how much product is gonna be put out. They're looking at it bi-weekly right now.
It'll be the buy-in of the community too, so.
Yeah, and like I said, there will always be the option, there'll be a bin out at the transfer site too, if you figure you got 10 bags, you don't want them hanging around your house, you can take them out there and throw them in that bin.
That's fair, yeah. I know I'm gonna get questioned about it.
Yeah, I did include the sheet with the list of products that they're gonna be.
Yeah. Is there like a condensed,
Right now, that's what they have.
fully sealed?
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of items they're gonna be looking after. Program, like I said, they're gonna do all the education. They do all the education.
Okay.
Contractors,
That's
the
good.
EPR themselves. They'll look after, we don't have to have hands on with anything. They will look after it. All we had to do, which I've already given them, is our allocations for the bins. Morgan helped me out on that, with all the addresses and stuff, so it was great. And yeah, that's all they're asking for us. They'll let us know what contractor they choose, which one we'll be working with. Oh, E360, who is doing our garbage pickup, is hoping to be a big contractor in those areas. Yeah. That's where she's sitting right now.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes. Speaking of garbage pickup, with ours changing to E360 June 1st, do we know what day of the week our garbage will be?
Yes, we do. I was gonna talk with Morgan.
Okay, sorry.
But we were working on that sewer downtown. I didn't get there today to give her kind of, it's beginning June 3rd.
June 3rd.
Yeah. Be 1 day pickup. Residents will have to have their bins out by 7 o'clock.
That's a Wednesday, I guess, eh?
Yeah.
Rather than 8.
So talking about
And what day is that?
Wednesday.
Wednesdays.
Wednesday, no, not a Thursday.
Yeah, it'll be 1 day pickup. They'll pick it up 1 day.
Yeah.
Tuesday night is when you'll want to get.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, really good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna talk to Morgan and get a notice. Yeah, because I just had a meeting with them too.
Okay. Okay.
So it'll only affect some of us. The ones that were picked up on Thursday,
Yeah.
the ones that were Wednesdays are gonna be okay.
Okay. Not a big change.
Twice a week. No. They're gonna do it all in one. That's all I got for you, the animal report, really nothing really of any note. We've been trying to trap a few skunks.
Fun.
Yeah, been a few around. We gotta purchase some more traps. We don't have enough traps. So.
At least it's not the bears yet.
Yeah, not yet.
I did have a couple other questions regarding Public Works.
Okay.
Your back alley cleanup is later this week, starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Next week is Public Works Week. Why don't we do it in conjunction?
I don't know. We moved to the second week in May, so.
Okay.
So we will.
Okay, no problem. And then we were talking today, we should look at doing a Public Works tour again.
Sure.
For the council, yeah.
Yeah, when you get a chance, so
Not a problem.
perfect. All right, anybody else have any other questions?
Just a back alley cleanup. Just maybe, I must have missed it when I was reading through. But no, so.
It might not, it was, I think it was in,
It's in the newsletter, it's in the
Yeah.
water bill,
Oh, okay.
but it's, yeah, Jacob.
What all is it?
We will pick up bridges, freezers, branches, grass, pretty much anything except for your old car you got parked in the back. We're not gonna take that guy.
We just put the oven in the trailer.
Yeah, we would have picked it up, yeah, and then this month, I don't know what everybody knows, there's no charge for Freon. For the fridge is going up to the transfer site this month, the month of May, so that's why we can coordinate with the pickup on this too, so.
and Wednesday is our town cleanup. Okay,
Who was cleaning on 1 day last week?
I saw somebody, or the schools, and then there was people, yeah.
Still have it for you.
I know my neighbor's been walking around with grandkids and stuff like that, picking up
Oh, okay.
in and amongst the schools and around the arena and stuff, so. Kudos to someone there taking,
There's a lot of garbage,
We
yeah.
do our share of picking up too. Just picked our transfer site here.
seems just like there's more this year for some reason, whether it's just because.
Running in our snow dumps, there's a lot more.
Yeah.
Fine.
I was just approached now. I remember somebody was asking if at the transfer station, if somebody goes around and collects some of the wind blown stuff
Yeah,
periodically.
yeah, we do, yeah.
That's almost a never ending though.
Wind's been not our friend here lately. Yeah,
Need snow fence to catch the snow fence.
yeah, pretty much, yep, pretty much.
Okay. Tourism and recreation report. Okay, can we get a motion to approve the manager of operations and animal control? Dwayne? All in favor? Do the tourism.
And for the letters?
Oh, yes,
Survey.
yes.
Jason made that.
Yeah, I can make that motion.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do the 52nd Street. Include that or just Ravine and Circle Drive?
I mean, it's all that area, so you can include 52nd or
There's only a few out there, it's
Yeah,
about six.
five houses.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of a shady area.
Yeah, it's sketchy.
Okay. All right, all in favor of the letters? That is carried. Okay, committee reports. MD Foundation.
Don't use the front door, Jane.
Oh, tourism and recreation, sorry. Getting ahead of myself. Okay. Any questions or comments regarding the tourism and recreation? At our volunteer year award. Chili cook-off and seniors week. Okay. No questions or comments regarding that? Can I get a motion to receive this information? One favor. It's carried. Now it's the MD Foundation.
Okay, MD, we had a meeting 2 weeks ago and there was nothing there new or different. It was just the standard, one. There was nothing, everything's on budget and
Yeah, there was just waiting on the first the monies to be transferred because that was that was holding up our getting money to go ahead. So that was the big push to see if we can get all those transfers finalized. So, but yeah, it's pretty well straightforward. I think everything's been running good.
When's the shovel going in the ground?
Rather quickly. Well, once everything's funded and everything's written down, then they can plan a day. Of
Have
course.
contractors, everybody's lined up.
Is it Gen Call?
Genco.
It's they indicated that if you see a Gen Call truck sitting there near the site, they're looking for local people to work. So by all means,
Knock on the door.
knock on the door and see if you can find a position if you're looking for work.
You CAO is settling in?
Sorry.
The
Yes.
CAO?
Yes, doing a good job, I think.
Yeah.
She's
Guys, yeah.
really, really good. She seems, she's made the tour around to see the facilities and the people and she's got a plan and I don't know, I guess, I haven't talked to anybody to get their reciprocal, how they felt, but things seem to be going well, so.
Yeah, I was impressed. Pick somebody up like that so quick.
Right, senior advocacy meeting. Okay, so I did attend, along with Mir and Kendra, the senior advocacy meeting last week. And it has been made aware that the lodge is very willing to release their control on the handy van. And so the county and I were talking and we are going to come up with an agreement. The insurance has been taken care of. It's due for a CVIP here in June. The county will look after the CVIPs. They do those. And we're just gonna have to come up with a list of criteria regarding driver's license. And then it's not gonna happen immediately because we're not meeting again now till the 8th of June, but it will be open to the public. We'll have to figure out who's gonna be managing the bookings and that kind of thing, but it will be open for the public to rent, kind of to use for transportation. And I guess we may look at having some volunteer drivers as well. But yes, it was very much, everybody was pleased. Now it's going to be how quickly we can get this happening because it's long overdue. People have been talking about it for a very long time. It is a need. And, right now we're just kind of talking locally, St. Paul, Bonneville, maybe Cold Lake, but down the road, maybe that would venture further. But we'll have to look at funding. We'll have to see what kind of shape the van's in. It's not a new van, so it, you know, there could be hiccups once it starts getting used a little bit more as well. But the county was very open to working with us to get it used where it needs to be. So
There are some grants that we can apply for. I was reaching out to the town of Smoky Lake. They got a grant. I think it's called Healthy Aging Core for seniors travel or transportation. I contacted FCSS through them, but I haven't heard back from her on how that funding they received, because they do provide senior transportation.
and who knows, maybe we'll invite FCSS to kind of partner and work with us as well too. But we're going to get, conversations are happening. The ball is going to be in motion. So, any questions regarding that? Meeting with Frog Lake?
Before we do that,
Oh.
I just noticed that the RCMP thing isn't in here. It was in the committee reports and stuff.
It's under correspondence.
Is it under correspondence?
Yeah.
Oh, my apologies. I thought it was up above. So yes, I did attend. I did get a chance to go out there and meet with the CAO, William. It was about a 2-hour long meeting. It was really good. They still have a ton of plans going on out there. I believe they're, so that they had completed the one Yerk? Jay, maybe Yerk? I don't know why I can't get that in my head, stuck in my head, but that's there. And I believe the way William was discussing that they now have insurance that they can get for the units. Before, that was one of the things you could build it, but insurance was an issue and everything else, but they've got a fire rating. So now they can get insurance on these things.
Get people moved in.
Yeah, so that's good. They have, I want to say the number was 10 more that were going up. They have a contractor that's going to be working with them, and they've become a little more educated in how to put these up. And it sounds like a lot of the residents are looking at this, the opportunity. So it looks like that's going to be going ahead, and that will be helping improve the outlook of what's happening. All the previously stated projects that William had brought to us back in last June, everything is still going ahead. I believe they have another, I don't know if they've announced it much yet, but there's another potential development that's occurring out there to help a lot of the residents as well that are kind of not families that need extra help. And there's a project that's going on with that. That's I think it'd be a benefit for them and for the nation. So, but everything is still going ahead. They will be going into elections here in a little while, I guess next year. So they're trying to get what they can done, but all very, very, very positive. They're looking forward to sitting down with us. I did say that we're still looking to get a new CAO, and we're still on the timeline of hopefully in a month or so. And they look forward to the time that we can make the introduction and be happy to come out and do a presentation. So.
Perfect. All right. Elk Point Golf and Country Club. Okay, weather's finally turned around, except the golf course isn't open yet. The golf course is probably ready to be open, but they did some kitchen renovations and they need they're waiting. There's a hiccup with, they need a 3-basin sink because for code, and they're struggling now to find that said sink. So they're hoping to be open this weekend. It may be limited to what they're serving because if they don't have the sink, then they can't serve certain things. Everything has to be in a can. And I don't know, but we're hoping. The sink was ordered, whether it's here in time, I don't know. The deck is almost complete. They redid the deck over last fall and finishing up this spring. They just have to do some railings along some steps. And then they need to, the one side of the ramp going in needs to be closed in somehow so that if somebody is in a wheelchair or something, they can't get their wheel over the side. What else? Summer staff has been hired. They are reaching out right now to the current advertisers to see who wants to continue. And they've ordered some scorecards to start because they did run out last year. And there will be, I think, some changes to the scorecards after. They have a casino in October. And then they did want to reach out to you, Jay. There is a 20-kilometer speed limit sign. I think people ignore it. Is there possibly a better location that it can be placed?
We could look at it, yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think where it is now.
It is literally as you're turning in off the township road or the range road and you're turning into, it's like right there.
At the ball diamonds.
Right, going into the ball diamond. So it's kind of like where the gates sit and, so it's, I see it. It doesn't, somebody said it's on the gates. It's not on the gates. It's in the ground.
So do they feel it should be closer to the building?
I don't know if they want it on the road, on the range road. They didn't really say, but they just say that people, they're actually wondering if we could get some speed bumps put in there.
Better bet.
Well, they would like for the road graded. But yeah, so it's just little things like that. And then the two gates, the one gate does need some repair.
Did do some work on it here.
Okay. Okay. And then they're also wondering if we could look at some bigger signage regarding checking in for camping at the clubhouse. But I said, I can ask. Okay. And yeah, other than that, they're hopefully ready for the season, looking forward to the season. And I know people are itching to get golfing and they are hoping to be ready to go this weekend for the long weekend. So
They're knocking on the door.
yeah. And one thing that I didn't add and I wanted to, I had a realtor reach out to me. And they just wanted to give us an update. We currently have 13, and this is one specific, so it's not the total for the town. 13 houses for sale, 2 condos, 2 houses that are pending, a listing of 4 fourplexes, and there's been 2 sales in the last 30 days. The sale prices are ranging between $250,250 and $320,000. So I think what we'll do in maybe a couple, 3 months, we'll reach out to another realtor and get an update regularly so that we know.
You forward that to me, so
Yep,
Yeah.
I'll forward it to you all.
you said that pretty fast, so.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I will share that.
That's only one realtor, but is that realtor speaking for the town?
No, I think this is just this one specific, so, because
That's what they have listed,
Yeah.
not necessarily the whole
everybody.
market. Okay.
So maybe what we can do going forward is reach out to see if, where we sit as a town.
Yeah.
Yeah, should. So I just told her that I would share this information, so, and yes, I will share that
I
with
like
everybody.
hearing those, so yeah, thank you.
So, perfect. All right, can we get a motion to approve the committee minutes and reports?
With that.
Dwayne. All in favor? Carried. Okay, so here's the RCMP under correspondence. 4th quarter. I did speak to Sergeant Nolan the other day, and he will be giving us an updated list of priorities. They've gone through the information when we met with him, and he just had to get some more signatures, and then he'll forward us a new copy. Anybody have any questions regarding that?
Like that the crime is down.
Right? Except my was talking to one of my family members and they said that the crime in general in Elk Point is still high. And so I asked Sergeant Nolan about that and he explained it to me. The government, when they do this, and I forget what the term was on the crime.
That's true.
Yeah. He says what they do is they use the population of Elk Point, but includes all the crimes in the county and around, but they don't include those population in the numbers. So that's.
And an extra 10,000 people that could be on that list versus 1,400.
Yes, so that changes things, makes a huge difference. So I said, oh, well, that was good to know. So, okay, can I get a motion to receive as information? Sean? All in favor? Carried. Okay, acknowledgements. All right, I made some notes here this time. Okay, so we have another list of acknowledgements for little events that have gone on in town. RPAP had a successful day at the hospital and it was enjoyed by students, staff, and volunteers. It was a day of hands-on learning and engagement for students to learn about the healthcare field. So thank you to RPAP, FG Miller, and the Alberta Elk Point Health Center for putting this on. The Elk Point Ukrainian Dance Club hosted their spring concert, which was successful. They were very appreciative for the Murnum Club joining them and the community for coming out. Thank you to the Elk Point Coffee Club for hosting another successful house party, giving people an opportunity to connect, relax, and unwind. The Canadian Adult Learning Program, or CALP, through Portage College, hosted a newcomer support presentation on Canadian holidays to give insight on traditions, celebrations, and shared cultural moments that shape our communities in Canada. Thank you to the Laverne Wilson Public Library for encouraging Books, Plant, Seeds program. By pairing the joys of reading with the wonder of planting and growing, you can nurture your mind and garden. Collaboration is always key, and the Elk Point Coffee Club and Elk Point Youth Council got together for this year's free comic book day. Each attendee received a free comic book and a coupon for the Elite Theater. Once again, the Elk Point Coffee Club, along with the Wildflower Way, hosted a Wildflower Sunday, which offers participants a calming space to slow down, reconnect, and engage to help with mental well-being and emotional balance. A highly successful astronomy night at the Laverne Wilson Public Library, along with Francois Van Heerden, offered an engaging look into why rocket launches are so difficult. There'll always be more of those events coming forward. The library also hosted a community presentation focusing on raising awareness around substance use and addiction. Participants could learn, reflect, and engage with conversation with the host, Philip Fair, to increase awareness regarding addiction. And the Youth Council, along with FCSS, joined to create some heartwarming pipe cleaner flower bouquets for Mother's Day. A hands-on opportunity to create keepsakes in honor of their mothers and caregivers in their lives. So lots of little events going on. So again, keep your events coming into the town so that we can help you promote them. And then we will acknowledge them when you have them. Okay, and unsightly properties. It has come to our attention that, especially now that the snow is gone, and we've discussed this during your presentation, Jay, there are some properties around town that are needing some attention. And so I do want to let people know that we do have an unsightly bylaw, and we will be coming around town. And if we feel that your property does need to be maintained a little bit, that letters could be issued to the property owners. So, and I know that probably falls on administration and public works, but we do want people to kind of
Take pride
and be mindful of your neighbors as well. And I know everybody's got a different level of, what they can live with, but it would be nice to have some of our local properties tidied up a little bit.
Especially with their community in blooms, that's kind of a priority to make everybody else.
Yeah. And this is a good week because if you need, the Public Works will pick up your stuff in the back alley.
I think it is important. I don't have the highest highest priority being my yard, but I think it's important for even just relations with your neighbors. It's just that little bit of a touch that you can show your neighbors that you care and
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Okay, any other comments? No? Can I get a motion to accept the concerns and acknowledgements?
I can make a motion.
Lisa? All in favor?
Aye.
That is carried. Okay, and then it shows the council remuneration. Can I get a motion to accept that as, receive that as information? Okay. All in favor? Great. All right, so with that, I need a motion. We have one item to discuss in closed session. I need a motion to go into closed session.
Make the motion.
Tim, at 8:10. All right, welcome back and thank you for your patience. At 8:39, Dwayne made a motion to come out of closed session. And we just have one item that we need a motion on, intergovernmental relations. Can I get a motion to receive as information?
I can make that motion.
Tim? All in favor? That is carried. Meeting adjourned at 8:42.